Fire departments existed since 1865, and it's grown every year. I think we've gotten better each and every generation because of those who came before us. So on September 10th, 2001, we were, as usual, ready for anything. On September 11th, anything struck. September 11th, we responded to the Twin Towers. We had no idea how many people were actually in the towers. The estimate was between 25 and 50,000. Ultimately, 750 members of the fire department responded, and their job was to evacuate as many people as possible, and we did evacuate thousands. But before we could get everyone out of that building, we ran out of time, and 343 of our members were lost, almost half of those who responded that day. Well, what this department had to do, besides the recovery effort there, which was a tremendous undertaking to actually dig out and sift 17-acre site that had collapsed, searching for every possible victim we could recover, we had to have funerals and memorial services almost every day for these 343 members to honor their families. And we did that. It was not easy, it was not pleasant, but it was required. And I'm very proud that the department was able to treat each and every one of them as an individual and conduct a department funeral as we should and a memorial.
Yeah, iPhone's good for that stuff.
I think, the department always says never forget. We never forget. And it doesn't mean we want people to remember the horrors of the day. What we mean is don't forget the heroism of the day and the heroism of the days that followed. And it just amplified, we're known as the bravest. And there's a reason for that. You can go upstairs from where we are now and see the memorial wall there and the hundreds and hundreds of names going back to 1865 of men and women who've put the sake of others in front of their own safety and have died in doing so. So that day was the epitome of bravery for this department and will forever be that. Well, soon after 9/11, and as our members worked there, toiled day and night, it was speculated that the air quality would be detrimental to us at some point in the future. And later it was, in fact, proven that members will suffer from various diseases, cancers, breathing difficulties, etc., from their work there. And that toll has been heavy, and I say we're now at 254. We're sure that in a few years that number will exceed the 343 we lost. So this is an event that hangs over this department and will continue to do so for decades as people become sick based on their work there. Members of the fire department swear an oath when we're brought into the department, as I was almost 52 years ago, to protect life and property, to put ourselves in harm's way for the sake of others. And that's what our members did initially, and after the buildings came down, we still had hopes of rescuing people who had survived the collapse, and our members immediately went to work, what they pledged to do. And we continued at that site 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in a rescue and then recovery effort until May of 2002. Well, I think even for the younger members who, some of them either were not born, members of EMS can enter at age 18, or were too young to remember 9/11, but they realize and they're taught the importance of that day here in the New York City Fire Department. For those of us who survived that day and who served that day, it is an indelible part of our lives. Not a day goes by when at some point we don't think about something of that day or some person from that day, and that even 20 years later is very